guys, Smooth Racing here back with a brand new video, and today we've got our top 5 things to watch out for at this weekend's F1 2014 Hungarian Grand Prix. So let's start off then with number 1, and that is the Hamilton versus Rosberg battle is going to intensify this weekend, as Rosberg of course now has a 14-point lead over his teammate Lewis Hamilton in the championship standings. And crucially, Hamilton hasn't actually beaten Rosberg yet in the past five races, apart from in Silverstone, but of course that's when Rosberg was leading until he retired. And of course you could say that was, similar to qualifying incidents, but nevertheless Hamilton is still yet to beat Rosberg on true pace and in kind of racing circumstances where one of them hasn't retired. And the last time both of them have finished, of course, it was Germany, and then before that was Austria, and before that was Monaco. And all of those 3 times it has been Rosberg ahead. So Hamilton really does need this win in Hungary, as of course it'd be crucial for many of the drivers coming into the summer break to get one up over their teammate, and in particular Lewis Hamilton. Many people saying, of course, Hungary's Hamilton's track, and of course it is. He's won here many times. Won here last year, probably his best drive of the season came in Hungary. But of course, everybody said Canada was the Lewis Hamilton track. Rosberg ended up taking pole and was leading, of course, until those problems. So, we just can't rely on past information. It's all about this season. It's all about the now. It's all about next weekend. Just forget about the past, because it's all about who's on form now. And at the moment, Nico Rosberg is on form. He'll be coming really strong in Hungary, and it could really depend on who gets pole position, who gets the win. Definitely, whoever gets this win will be major important, and of course it's probably going to be a 1-2 finish. Recently, we've seen past 2 races it hasn't been a 1-2. I expect that to get back on track this weekend, and the question is, will it be Rosberg or Hamilton on the top step of the podium? Be sure to leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Moving on to our second point, and that's Red Bull should have an improved performance this weekend and should be back to their best, which we saw in Spain, Monaco and Canada. Daniel Ricciardo should be up there on the podium, I believe, this weekend, as the advantage Red Bull have is usually comes around in these very downforce dependent tracks, such as Hungary, which is a lot of slow and also fast corners, which Red Bull tend to thrive in, especially where downforce is very well needed, and there's not many long straights, which of course is where Mercedes just have a major advantage. So I suspect that Red Bull will be a lot closer to Williams. It should be a great scrap between them, and of course for second in the constructors. Many people are talking about Williams versus Ferrari, but for me it's all about Williams versus Red Bull. If Williams keep on going, then of course they can get second in the constructors for sure. And of course Felipe Massa just needs to finish this race, and Valtteri Bottas is on top form, and I think it'll be a great battle between Bottas, Ricciardo, Massa and Vettel for that final podium position this weekend. Third thing to look out for is different tyre strategies. Last year we saw Kimi Räikkönen having an absolutely amazing strategy and coming home second after starting 6th on the grid after a really good strategy to keep him ahead of Sebastian Vettel. It was a really good strategy from him, which allowed him to come in second, and that's definitely what we could be seeing this weekend. Maybe some like a Force India, who's usually really good on the tyres. Maybe Hülkenberg or Perez can go really long into the race. Maybe if Perez starts on his favourite hard tyre, he could probably go very long into the race, and certainly cause a few issues for other drivers, and maybe even a high points finish, although Force India's performance recently has been pretty poor. Hülkenberg and Perez have really outperformed it. I've been really impressed with Perez, though, in the last few races, sort of this season. How well he's kind of done after many people, was just suggesting Hülkenberg's going to dominate. Hülkenberg, in terms of points, has, but that doesn't tell the true story. I think Perez isn't quite as good as Hülkenberg, but I think he's doing a great job and probably the perfect midfield driver, if that makes sense. Number 4 is it's going to be hot. It's going to be very warm. I think last year it was the hottest race of the year in Hungary, and that's definitely what we've seen. Now this is going to shape the tyre strategies, because the hotter it is, the harder it's going to be on the tyres. And I suspect they're probably going to be bringing the hard tyres to Hungary, but I can't be sure on that. I think they will, due to the nature of the track. But you never know, they could be bringing maybe the soft and the medium, maybe the soft and the hard. I can't really see them bringing the super soft. I think the tyres would just go out too quickly. If they do, then we're in for an interesting race for sure. And in terms of weather, don't expect rain. It never rains in Hungary, and everyone knows it. Anyway, moving on to number 5, and that is overtaking and track limits. Overtaking can be quite hard sometimes. That's why tyre strategy is quite important, but you can get some pretty good moves done as well. Going possible places, sort of turn 1, maybe turns 4 and 5 off quite a good opportunity, maybe even to turn 12, and 13 and 14, that kind of complex. Is quite a good place to pass, and of course in the DRS zones would be very well advised as well. And just that second point of the number 5 is track limits. I think we saw in 2012, I think Vettel actually made an illegal pass on, I think it could have been Grosjean, or was it last year? It might have been Grosjean on Massa last year, where someone got their, they got a penalty, I think, for doing that. Maybe in 2013, but I can't quite remember if that was if that was Nürburgring. But anyway, in Hungary there should be some track limits, I think, because I'm sure we'll be seeing some drivers extending the limits of the track for sure. Anyway, that rounds out this video then, and we'll finish off by making a top 10 prediction. And I'm going to go with, I think Lewis Hamilton will just get the win in Hungary this time, just ahead of Nico Rosberg. Could really go either way. I think. Now I'm going to check. I'll go with Rosberg. I'll go with Rosberg first, Lewis Hamilton second. Then I'm going to go with Bottas third, then Ricciardo fourth, Alonso fifth, Vettel sixth. We'll go Button seventh, Hülkenberg eighth, Magnussen ninth, and we'll have John Verne there getting the final points in at 10th position. Of course, you probably noticed I didn't mention Massa. I think he'll crash out. Massa did this last year. He kind of had a really bad spell. He's retired from the past 2 races, and I think this will continue into Hungary. And then after the summer break, he should be fine after that. But anyway, a really crucial race coming into the summer break. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more F1 and motorsport content. I'm Racing, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.